Now, Jill Biden. Now, we talked about something like this about Kim Kardashian a couple of weeks ago, but at the other end of the spectrum, but just as unserious a person, in my view, Dr. Jill Biden, of course, will be taken off the internet if we do not refer to her as Dr. Jill Biden. She was booed when she went to the football.
It's no surprise. Yes, she was booed, and I think that the feeling on both of them is really turning here in the United States. As we get to these midterm elections, the numbers are all going in the opposite way of these Democrats. And the thing that's really turning people, it's not like he says something terrible about cops, which would hurt his numbers, right? Or somebody really sympathetic on the GOP side. It's the economy. What do we have in the news this week as we came back to business on Monday? Him eating an ice cream cone and saying, the economy's strong as hell. It's strong as hell. Meanwhile, Paul, all he does is one speech a day. That's all. He's doing absolutely nothing to fix it. Dr. Jill is bearing the brunt of his unpopularity. So they're really booing him. And that's how they're feeling about him. He's got terrible approval ratings, and he's dragging down the entire Democratic ticket, which has changed dramatically over the past month or two.
Well, also, I mentioned this a couple of nights ago here, which is something frightening is happening right now, which is that, as you know, there's this Chinese Communist Party conference that's taking place. Now, it's more power for Xi, all the rest of it, right? Their stated objectives are to be the world superpower. The West is represented by this idiot licking ice cream on the same day that China is strengthening its grip, while over in the UK you have that moron who doesn't know how to take a question. Now, this isn't left and right because you're talking about people from both sides of the political spectrum, but where is the strength in the West? That is a frightening representation of how piss weak we've become.
Yeah, you're not wrong. And here's the other problem. Instead of focusing on China right now, as we need to be, not just should, like we must be, we're focused on Ukraine and Russia. And we really could have used their help. It really would have been great if we could have chosen, if we had to, between Russia and China, chosen Russia to try to ally with us in some way against China. But it's gone the entirely different direction. Why? Because we need to back up Ukraine in a conflict. Let's face it, we helped foment by what we were doing over there in 2014 and earlier and trying to plant these seeds of democracy and this U.S.-backed coup. And so, I'm not saying that we're to blame for Putin's invasion. I'm saying the United States hasn't come fully clean on what it did to tempt the bear over there in a way that's proved really reckless if you look at the overall foreign policy where we really need to be working with Putin or whoever the next successor is over there against China. And instead, those two are now partnering up.